believe so. Trying to tighten this. Sometimes it swings out, so yeah. Now it's definitely swinging more. Stop your nonsense, Mike. Look at this thing.
Oh, here. You're going the wrong way. Go up the other way. Okay. And then this. There. That was like turned all the way the wrong way. You were falling apart.
Oh, yeah. Much better. Not swinging at me this time.
Nice.
We're ready.
All right. 3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and it's a Trailer Friday. So happy Friday, everybody. Friday evening, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. But wherever you're at, we welcome you in. And whatever day you might be listening, welcome.
Back up the bus. Welcome to Trailer Friday.
Trailer Friday for episode number 4.
Number 4's coming up. Hey, so Phil, a thought crossed my mind between our recording break.
Just one?
Just one. Well, other than being relieved.
Yep. We take a bathroom break in between.
Stretch our legs.
Right.
Let our hip sockets come back into alignment with the rest of our body after sitting in these chairs.
Mm-hmm. So that's just a little bit of insight for y'all who are watching, listening. We take a break in between.
Hopefully, it's not too much of a TMI.
Yeah.
But so my thought, was a meandering journey of my mind.
Sure.
I was thinking, all right, because see, I'm really trying to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I struggle with is I got so much inside me, I can get sidetracked and distracted and not accomplish anything because of all the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And so it's not really a paralyzation as much as it's a vortex that sucks me into. So I was thinking, oh, I'd like to go to the studio. And I'm like, yeah, I know you want to, but you shouldn't. I'm like, yeah, I need to go home and do some edits and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm heading home. And then I thought, well, you know what? I got salmon in the fridge. I could cook supper, and then it's all done early, which led me to believe that there could be the amount of time that passes between cooking the meal and then cleaning up the kitchen that is just a nice break, you know? Because I really don't feel like doing the dishes right after I get done cooking.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
But I really don't like to have dirty dishes overnight in the sink either, because I like to wake up and not have that to have to deal with.
Yeah.
And guess who did dishes this morning while he was making coffee?
And that would have been you?
This guy right here. And but then when my mind went there and I was thinking about that, you know what else my mind thought of?
Yeah.
My mind thought to myself, Self knows this about his good buddy Phil. You don't have a dishwasher.
No.
All of your dishes.
I am me.
100% of your dishes are washed by hand.
Yeah.
You know, and so then in that, it led me to the idea of, have you ever considered a portable or a movable dishwasher?
We used to have one that I was trying to remember when we first got that. We had a portable dishwasher that we would hook up to the sink. There's a little clamp thing that you go onto the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of a pain. to kind of have this, and it has. I mean, it was it was a square block on top you could use for cutting, you could use for preparing whatever. So I think it was trying to be like a dynamic surface where you could use it for other things, but I just never found that it was practical.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I do at times like, oh, it would be good to have a washing machine. A dishwashing machine.
Uh-huh.
And because I don't feel like it's like me saying, oh, I'm saving water by, I think I would probably use the same amount of water in a dishwasher and the same amount that I'm using for washing dishes.
Yeah.
I'm using the same amount of water.
Same amount.
So it's not for me like a conservation. It would be like if I could actually get a unit in like next to the sink somewhere, like that would still be ideal, but I also don't want to do the work. and I don't want to pay for somebody to do the work. So that's where it's come down for me is like, yep, I kind of took on being the primary dishwasher probably a couple of years, so
yeah,
year or two before COVID. I'm like, I'm just going to take this on because I think I brought it up on one of the episodes a while back. Just like I would grow frustrated by seeing the sink full and I'm like, like this bugs me. Like I don't want this way. And it seemed like I was the only one that has this frustration. So I'm like, well, then I must be the one that needs to, do something about it if it doesn't bug anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I'm like, then less resentment on the rest of the family, like you're not doing but nobody, it wasn't really assigned. So I'm like, I'll do it, and it doesn't mean that I wash 100% of the dishes. There are, people who would still come along. Heather does some.
Yeah.
I think Caitlin, when she's here, she's washed it maybe once or twice, since she's not lived here. And Tyson, I don't even know. Tyson used to put the dishes away.
Yeah.
But, so, I still think it would be ideal to have a dishwashing machine.
Well, I just did a little search on Amazon.
Yeah.
And they actually have a countertop dishwasher that would be ideal for coffee cups,
yeah,
plates, water glasses,
yeah,
and silverware. Why I even asked is because I have a portable laundry station in the studio.
Yeah.
And
that's right, you do.
And I'm not hooked up to water directly, so there's a way where you get to pour water in, and then, and I've got a whole system worked out and got it all. It definitely works for me. I'm a fan. When I was in the Dominican Republic, I saw these flat top gas burners, but it was on this little tiny, like, it's 4 burners,
yeah,
and there's a way you hook it up to propane, and I thought, and now there's cooking with gas. And so then it just got me thinking of how much of our stuff have we just bought into this. It's getting bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better. But is it really? But like, since we have a minimal appropriation of cookware, then I typically, Amy's not this way. If it's dirty, she rinses it out, puts it in a dishwasher, and runs a load. But typically, the knives aren't supposed to go in the dishwasher, I think because of the wood handles.
Yeah.
And I mean cutting knives, not silverware knives. And then, like, pots and pans, hand wash.
Yeah.
Because then I have them available to cook the next time I go to cook. If I have to go into the dirty dishwasher to be able to get the pan that I need, it should have just been
Washed.
hand washed
Mm-hmm.
for availability. So I have a blend. Now, this dishwasher we have at our new place is smaller than the other dishwasher.
Mm.
So as I'm thinking through my efficiencies, technically, if I do a meal, I should just load up that dishwasher and wash. But they have countertop dishwashers.
It's meant for just glasses or
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it looks super simple and super easy. And I mean, they're not. I mean, you can get them like in like a lower range of like 170 to 230, but then there's $300 ones. And I think you'd have to go into a deep dive and start looking at like size, like how big is this by square inches and stuff like that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just fascinated. No installation needed. 5-liter built-in water tank. So basically, you don't even have to hook up the water. It's like making a
just
pot
saw
of
that,
coffee.
Yeah.
One of the best sellers, $319.
Yeah. 3-cup water tank.
So then I don't know how it drains.
Yeah, you must still have to hook up something then with that, right? I mean, with it, because yeah, you would say if the water's being like it has to go out as well.
Well, this one is a mini steam wash, so maybe I don't know. So that's where I wanted to talk. Think about like the little portable things that, like what's your favorite portable thing that you really enjoy? Well, so I use a hot plate.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the most efficient. I'm not really dishing up any like big deals, going on.
Right.
But gosh, and then I know that some people have barbecues and they have like gas burners and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But gosh, if I had a tank of propane and a 4-top burner, I could cook up a meal at the studio. But then if I'm cooking meals at the studio, I'm not working at the studio. I'm cooking meals. So,
Right.
But maybe I might look into this because what happens to me is I do my quesadillas
Right.
and stuff like that. And then I typically have been using paper product as my dishes, but maybe with one of these little things, I don't know. Yeah. So what about you folks? What things have you found that's not bigger and better, but is like more consolidated and brought together that you think, oh, I kind of like how this works.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think my parents had one with a wood top on it, and you rolled it over, and then you put it all together and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you kind of connect that piece to the faucet, and that it becomes both the drainage part and bringing the water in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's always like with the house that we're in. Of course, it's over 100 years old,
Right.
and there hasn't been a lot of internal updates like electricity or water. So even our fridge, they built a particular spot in the kitchen that's on the opposite side of the kitchen, so you can't even do like the water in the fridge is there, and the fridge area that they have, it's you can't do it, like you can't bring even the water over, because of the way that they built this into there, and it's really weird. The whole thing just kind of strange, odd. So some of those like small, compartment things, I mean, like an air fryer, it doesn't, you can use that on the countertop where you're not turning on the oven. Yes, you're using electricity still, but so some of those kind of like saving techniques have been helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and I haven't gotten on the air fryer bandwagon
Mm-hmm.
because of countertop space.
Right.
But I tell you what, if I had $1 for every time in Aldi that I hear people talking about the food and how they'd use it in an air fryer,
Yeah.
I would have enough to buy a burger at Steak and Shake. I mean, just recently, like people around the corner and they're like, "Oh my gosh, do you look at this? Won't this be great in the air fryer?" And I mean, people are like, air fryers are life changers. Now, at the studio, I could get away with an air fryer.
Oh, yeah.
But then my problem becomes if I really like an air fryer and I have one at the studio,
And you want to bring it home or have one at home.
then what will I do? Because I don't have a lot of linear footage when it comes to, So, we're talking about eliminating our over the stove microwave
Yeah.
and like just going with a countertop small microwave to be able to gain linear space on shelving and stuff like that. But that's renovations 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a good one. What about anything else? One of the newfangled dealios that's not so new, but it is newfangled,
Yeah.
is a water hose that shrinks up instead of the hard rubber garden hose that you have to fight to be able to curl up. I really like those. And if people are like, yeah, I don't really know. Oh, you can get them at Walgreens.
Yeah.
You can go in as seen on TV section.
Yeah.
I will say that, if you use them quite often, like I've actually gone through one of those hoses in a season, like it just blows out.
Yeah.
But
We have to.
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, because they're also not, they're still not super expensive either, but
No.
yeah, but they're definitely not built to last.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other portable, like we've got the ice maker. That's a portable one. You plug it in.
Oh, you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
We dump the water in there that's filtered still, and yeah. And then you still get good ice production, because that was something Arizona, we would always do ice in our water. And
Sure.
Just the temperature of the, climate was warmer, so you always want ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would always be ice water. And so then we moved to the Midwest. Midwest is not always known for ice in their water.
Right.
So they're like, "We want water? Yeah, here's that. Oh, yeah, can I get some ice?" And so for a while when we moved into this place, because we didn't have the in-fridge ice water, that we're like missing ice. So... yeah, so that's been a good addition to the little ice maker.
Yeah, and for about $80, #Amazon's not a sponsor yet.
Yeah.
But to your point, there's one here for $59. You can get them. Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, that's of course if you don't have if you got the one in the fridge that already has a filter and all of that fun stuff. But, if you don't, or you're trying to save space somewhere else, then yeah, it's a good addition.
And I could see at the studio, because I drink a lot of water when I'm there. And I've had ice trays.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the new fridge that we bought really streamlined.
Yeah.
Doesn't have an ice maker.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've noticed is that not necessarily going through a lot of ice. When on Green Bay, when we were there, I would get hot coffee and drop a cube in just so I could drink it faster and stuff like that. And I will say we're going through the winter months right now. I drink a lot of iced coffee in the summer.
Yeah.
And so, gosh, here's another thing. Man, so if I had a place where I could put an air fryer and an ice maker. These are some of the things that are not necessarily bigger and better, but it would be a convenient thing to be able to consider.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that the technology of sorts is always thinking, what can you save, on, and I think, gas, like natural gas prices have increased. I know here in the city, at least. I don't know about everywhere, but in the city, it's increased. So if we're using our oven, we know that the oven or the stove all is gas, and we're going to be using that. And so if we've increased that, then all of a sudden the prices are, if you can find ways of saving on that, like an air fryer or, some other kind of contraption, then
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. We do have a clean, dirty sign on our dishwasher.
Yeah.
So we flip it back and forth just so people don't get confused, because there's so many people who live in our house.
Hmm.
And by so many, I mean Amy and I. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, that's if that's the extent, that's what was going through my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite a thing. Thinking about that. We also, for the episode coming up on Sunday,
It's crazy.
we get into all kinds of topics. So
It's weird.
yeah. I mean, we do bring in some alien talk, and that's
If you want to hear
that's a
about
bulk.
when Steve was abducted by aliens,
yeah.
it's on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, like within the last less than 8 hours.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's been recent. So you want to hear about that story? Then listen on Sunday.
Sunday, Steve's alien abduction.
Alien abduction story. And so we talk about some of the recent, along with the Chinese spy balloon and the other UAP sightings across the United States and even right outside the United States. But yep, all of these things we get into that topic.
We talk about flora and fauna of the Great Lake, Lake Michigan.
Right.
Which really what we're saying is what life-taking predators could be present.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to give it away.
We talk about creation, right? The natural universe or the natural landscape around us. Some people like to call it Mother Earth. So we talk about some of that, and
Yeah, if you want to catch my my Mother Earth is tired of giving birth, you have to listen on Sunday in context.
right. Yeah. Then we hear about in the beginning some of Steve's recent travels to the DR.
Adventure.
Right. That it wasn't just a vacation.
No.
Not much vacationing.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, you've got one coming up, but not that one. That was not a vacation.
My body retained itself in anything I put in it for so long that I think that I've lost 20 pounds. Not really. Have you ever noticed that when you want to go on a diet, that the scale really messes with you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how did I gain 5 pounds since I weighed yesterday?
Right.
I'm like, this is a bunch of bull.
Something's happening here.
Yeah, I'm like, what a bunch of crap.
Right.
Yeah.
Science of weight
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and then we get into Phil like brings us into what it means to take dominion over the earth. That was a good section there.
Yeah. We talk about that.
And what that does and doesn't mean. We're not going Greenpeace on anybody on Sunday.
Right. But we do talk.
Yeah.
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 And we can see kind of the direction that some people try to take that in. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to take my scatteredness as a sign of fatigue, you can do that. Or you can just, like, put it in the bucket of, nope, that's typical Cobble right there. All over the place.
Scattered.
Yeah, scattered. Like, I have to think really hard to organize thoughts before I talk, and that didn't happen
Right.
at all.
There's some scatterbrain.
Yeah.
Scatterbrained.
But if you enjoy looking at the world, your life, through my eyes, this is your episode.
It's going to be enjoyable for you.
Oh, my gosh. And then we end with some gentle talking of the ebb and the flow, bringing you into a place so once again Matt Handley can drift off to sleep.
Right. And if you had to wake up anytime throughout the episode, that would be also a place to land it nicely.
Which we do, because we were given the keys.
Right.
The keys to what, you ask? That's a great question.
And you'll see.
You'll have to listen to find out. Yeah.
So all kinds of things for you to look forward to. A full episode on Sunday.
Yeah. And as far as listening and all that goes on with it, just remember, you are the unicorn, and we are so glad to have you along for the ride.
It's a good place to land
Because
for Trailer Friday.
We're just two guys flying through the universe. Literally. In a new vehicle that was just given to us. Based on my abduction.
It's going to be good. You'll see us, and we'll see you.
When you see lights, just say hello. Phil and Steve.
Amen.
Amen. What? Make it so, number one.
Engage.
Boom. Peace.
Peace.